Hi guys, it's Suzanne here. So today we're going to do a little yoga session and we're going to have a little play around with our handstands. If you've caught any of my previous videos, you may have noticed there's usually a mirror there. I thought I'd take it away because we're going to be using the wall to help us. So I'm guessing you've got a wall nearby. If you're in the garden or out in the park, find a tree or something. Yeah, so just get yourself near a wall. We're not going to need it to start with, but it's something that you can place your feet into. So I'm just hanging on to give you a chance to work that one out. Okay. Also grab yourself some water if you don't have any. Let's come to start in child's pose. And you can sit back on your heels, knees, it can be together or it's a little more comfortable with the knees wider. And come to soften down here. So take a nice deep breath in and let it go. Just taking this time to settle, so let go of whatever you've been up to in the day. And become aware of how you're breathing. And then inhale, just lift a little and walk your hands over to one side. As much as possible, keep the bottom or your seat bones glued to your heels. And we'll take a few breaths here. And then let's open up the other side. Walk the hands over. Back to centre. And then slowly uncurl. Bring the knees together. If this isn't comfortable for you, you could sit with your legs crossed. And it's going to bring the hands onto your shoulders. And breathe in. And breathe out. Just really getting your shoulders moving. And the other way. And relax the arms down. And you're going to rotate through your wrists. And the other way. Bring some movement into your elbows as well, so just getting all of the joints moving. Okay. And then onto all fours, and let's just start to mobilise the spine. So in and out of your cat. Exhaling. And inhaling. You can either have the toes tucked under, or you could rest on the tops of your feet. Tuck your toes under. Coming to dog down, start with the knees bent. Allow the head to hang. And then extend back through one heel, one leg back. And the other. So just repeat that a few times. Just gradually lengthening through your hamstrings. If they're screaming at you today, just keep the knees bent. Yeah, keep the back nice and straight. And space here, so the shoulders are moving, if you can see this, away from each other. Quite often this happens, they roll in. So we're aiming to create space in the body, so out and back. And then float one leg up. Let the knee bend. You're going to step through to a lunge. Check your knee and ankle are in line, and then just have a little shift forwards and back. You can also work on your knee. Yeah. So we're not going to hold the lunge static, you're just lengthening, extend through the heel so you feel a nice stretch here. I know you're probably thinking, you mentioned handstands, what are we doing stretching out the legs? But you'll find out, because when we start working with our half handstands, we want to create a right angle, and quite often when the hamstrings are quite tight, it's more challenging to create the right angle with straight legs and keep the back nice and straight. So there's a reason for us spending a little bit of time stretching out here. And then you're going to exhale, step back to dog down. Float the other leg up. Find your way to your lunge. You can come onto the knee, stay with the knee lifted. If the foot's not quite made it, just move it forwards. And now a little shift around. Again, you might want to work with the legs straight. Also just clock whether this side's any different. Had enough. Place your palms flat, exhale all the way back to dog down. And from dog down, we are going to exhale to our plank. You can work here in your plank as well. Whichever variation you're working on, navel's drawing back, keep the crown of the head drawing forwards. Nice strong arms. If you tend to really hyperextend in your elbow joints, think of bending them very slightly. Yeah. And back to dog down. And then we're going to exhale to dolphin posture. So you're placing both the forearms down together. You can bend the knees here, and straightening. Just go a couple of rounds. And it's not one forearm and then the other. Nice strong arms. And with control, you're tucking the elbows in as you lower and then pushing back up to dog down. Okay, and then have a little rest. You can bring your arms back. And let your shoulders relax for the moment. And then up. If you feel it at all in the wrists after those planks, just bring a bit of movement back in. And then you're going to come to your wall or your tree. I'm just going to move the mat out of the way. You don't really need a mat. And we want to get the correct distance from the wall. So we want to be exactly a leg's distance from the wall. So if you come to sit, place your feet into the wall. So you've got that distance. So you want your hands where you're sat, where your seat bones are. So turn around. Place your palms flat. Okay. I was just laughing because there were little sweaty handprints on the floor. At least I know where I need to place my hands. Okay. And we're going to come into dog down, but it'll be a very short dog down because very narrow, so we'll keep the knees bent. And you're going to start by focusing on lifting your bottom or your seat bones as high as possible, so really lengthening through the spine. Now to get them nice and high, lift your heels as high as you can, like you've got like really high heels on. And then just have a little rest, walk the hands back, hang down in Uttanasana. And then come back. So like I say, I'm just going to start building this and going in stages, and I know some of it can feel quite strong, so if you just want to go back to your plank and focus on that stability, please do that, yeah? Or you can stay working at any stage. So now we place the palms flat, we've lifted our bottom nice and high, and you're going to step. I just realised I went for a walk around the park earlier and my feet are really filthy, and I'm probably going to get filthy footprints on the walls, but I hope not. Anyway, I should have thought about that before I started this. So you've got nice solid foundations, your head is hanging, you're lengthening through the spine. You're going to place one foot into the wall and then the other. Now please start with the knees bent and you're aiming to get the bottom nice and high. Then gradually you can play around with straightening the legs. But if you straighten the legs and you find your back round, come back to working with bent legs. Okay. And then have a little rest. You might want to just rest the forehead down in child's pose. So we want to create a really good right angle. So often, or the majority of the time, we're actually too far out. When our pelvis is directly aligned over our shoulders, it almost feels like we're going to topple into the centre of the room. So you might need to bring your hands back a little bit. Also, there's part of us, a little fear that creeps in. It's like, I'm gonna fall, but you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Right. So nice solid foundations. Create that nice lift through the spine. One foot and the other foot. The other thing I'm going to say is we're not walking the feet up here. Yeah. At the moment, we want that nice right angle. And now you've got the option of just playing around. I mean, you can keep the other leg bent with extending one leg up. And then the other. Make sure you're breathing. Yeah, so this other leg can be bent, remember? When you need a rest. Have a rest here in Uttanasana or come to child's pose. And then slowly come up. If you feel a little dizzy, just stay resting a little longer. So now you can work in your half handstand. You can work in your half handstand and play with lifting one leg and then the other. Or you're going to turn into the wall and have your hands a little further back, so not too close in. And you're going to come to dog down. And you're going to lift your heels high, just as you did before. And you're lifting them as high as possible. Then you're going to float one leg up. And you're just going to start by playing. So you're not really going to focus on balancing. Then try the other leg. Yeah? Have a few goes. One leg and the other. And you'll find that one leg is easier. So you're kicking that leg, building a little momentum to get the pelvis up over the shoulders, so that alignment that we had before. And then you might want a little rest. We're going to kick the leg up and bring the other leg up to join it. Yeah, have a little play. And then just have a little play around with bringing the feet away from the wall. And you can have a little wobble. And breathe. The reason I mentioned the breathing is because so often when things are challenging, we hold the breath. That's no good. Yeah, so come back up, or if you're working in your plank or your half handstand, just see, can you stay in the posture and breathe? If you want another go, have another go. Play with it, kicking up, yeah? And then, woo, you can kick all the way up. Keep your core engaged, so you're not just sort of dropping the bottom back into the wall. Okay. Have another go. When you've had enough, come onto your backs, hug your knees in, take a nice deep breath in here, and let it go. And let's come into a nice twist. Take the arms wide, place the feet flat, and exhale, drop the knees to one side. And the other way. And back to centre. Bring the arms down, check your feet at hip width. And we'll just move in and out of a bridge, just a couple of rounds. Exhale up. And down. Here again. And then slide the legs out. Just allow your body to rest completely now. Notice how you're breathing. And then gently roll your head. And introduce a little movement back into the body. Have a really nice stretch. You can either roll onto one side to come up, or you're going to curl into a little ball and gently rock backwards and forwards, just giving your back a little massage. You're going to roll your way up. to sitting. Amazing. So we're going to finish there today. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, practice it. I will see you guys very soon. Feel free to follow No Rules Yoga and Bliss in Chaos on Instagram. And have a super beautiful day. Take care.